It's Q12 2020, and this is the final. And this is probably, in terms of the people who are playing, as fine a final as we've had since Pat and Mark and Kevin played back in 2007, 2008, whenever it was. If I could kind of announce you and you could give us a little wave, I'd really appreciate it. Starting at the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner, if you're watching on the screen, that's Dave Bill all the way from Huddersfield. Hi, David.
Hello.
This is me. This is me. I love The Great Showman. Brendan, last year's champion. A bloke you may recognise from the telly is the Chasers, Mr. Paul Sinha, who is currently, I've installed it, believe it or not favourite. But nobody's a hot favourite today because of the nature of the competition. Steve Lacey, how are you today?
I'm right, thank you.
Currently, Oliver's auditioning for the Invisible Man in the Fantastic Four, but as long as you can get the rights, we can do that show and show. Oliver is the favourite today, and most of the consiglienti would agree that he just has the edge. His insane knowledge of stupid stuff from the early 70s and 60s, which people like Steve Lacey and myself pride ourselves on, is put to shame by Oliver. Representing 50% of the world's population, i.e. Scotland, it's Ailsa Watson, all the way from...
Brentford. Go on, remember it.
No, north of the wall. Ashton Davies, who is do you know, on the betting, I can't understand why nobody's backed Ashton. If I had to look at that ridiculous book, which I said, I've got David Hulley. Had some good rounds early on, but never managed to get through until round number 10. And I didn't ink him in and read David say hello from the down south. That's Dave Hulley. Lee Warburton, Yorkshire. Hey, Lee. From North Carolina. There's a buzz about this guy. Steve, I can't even say buzz, never mind his second name, but Steve is representing the United States of America, a very late entry. I think he's only got 37 points altogether, and he's made the final on round 11. So, Steve, say hi from America, please.
Hi from America, please.
Basically, the people in the know think, yeah, there's a man who, if he gets a fair wind behind him, is in business. Michael McPartland, you've won this twice, I believe, haven't you? Yeah, indeed. And you've got to admit, actually, that over the last 5 or 6 years, this is as good as we've had over the last 5 and 6 years, I think. Don't you? You've played in every competition?
Yeah, it's a very strong lineup.
Asking the question today, my man, your man, Mr. Chris Curtis. How are you doing, Chris? Have you got everything ready for us?
Ready to go, yes.
You're looking very serene and dark. Scoring, we've got a chap, if you look on you can see the scoreboard with Ailsa and Ashton at the top there. Scoring is a guy called Chris Bean, who you'll have seen in the earlier rounds. He had such a phenomenal last round and just didn't make it through. And I was gutted for him not to do it. And we've got every favourite player, Vince, who's going to be shouting in a perfectly balanced and neutral English accent, buzz when people are buzzing in, and he's going to tell us who is first. The players who are playing. So I can't put this off any longer. I can't talk anymore. Chris Curtis, it's all in your court, mate. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy yourselves.
Good luck, folks.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck,
Okay.
everyone.
Round 1 is a 12-minute round. General knowledge questions. There are 2 points for a correct answer. You lose half your points for an incorrect interruption. 12 minutes on the clock. Good luck, everybody. Starting now. On which geological fault line is San Francisco?
Buzz.
Dave Bill.
Dave
San
Bill.
Andreas.
Correct. 2. Which famous cat was created by Otto Messner?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Steve Kidd.
Felix.
Correct. What does MCC add up to?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Steve Kidd.
100 and...
Incorrect. Oliver.
Marylebone Cricket Club.
Incorrect. Steve Banhaman.
1200.
Correct. 1200. So Steve lose a point. Oliver nothing.
I was absolutely going to say Marylebone Cricket Club.
Which butterfly has the same name as a punctuation mark?
Buzz.
Steve Kidd.
Comma.
Correct. What is the capital of Uzbekistan?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Paul Sinha.
Tashkent.
Correct. Which city in the Netherlands is famous for its porcelain?
Buzz.
Steve Kidd.
Delft.
Correct. On which racecourse is the Scottish Grand National
Buzz.
run?
Buzz.
Paul Sinha.
Air.
Correct. Who was New Zealand's first woman Prime Minister?
Buzz.
Ashton.
Arden.
Incorrect.
No, not is it?
Paul.
Shipley.
Correct. Who designed the Morris Minor?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Dave Bill.
Alexis Sigonis.
Correct. In darts slang, what score is bed and breakfast?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Steve Kidd.
26.
Correct. Which English writer won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1930?
Buzz.
Ashton.
Buzz.
No, pass.
Paul.
John Galsworthy.
Correct. Which artist painted Bedroom in Arles?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Is Paul.
Vincent van Gogh.
Correct. What is the cube root of 64?
Buzz.
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 Paul.
4.
Correct. What was the last English Football League club that George Best played for? Ashton.
Buzz.
Fulham.
Incorrect. Michael.
I was going to say Fulham.
Lee.
Bournemouth.
Correct.
Bollocks.
Which London palace was Queen Elizabeth the Firstborn?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Ashton.
Kensington.
Incorrect. Michael.
Whitehall.
Incorrect. Oliver.
That was Greenwich Palace.
Correct. Who wrote the theme music for the film Kill Bill?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Paul.
Ennio Morricone.
Correct. In which city in California is Disneyland?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Steve Banhaman
Anaheim.
is correct. What is the French stock exchange called?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Dave Bill.
Le CAC 40. See it.
No, the stock exchange. Ashton.
Horse.
Correct.
I'm sorry.
Which US state is the Painted Desert?
Buzz.
Steve B.
New Mexico.
Incorrect. Paul.
Utah.
Incorrect. Michael McP.
California.
Incorrect. Oliver.
Arizona.
Correct. Whose political autobiography was called Momentum? Steve Kidd.
Mo Molan.
Correct. Whose motto is Nations shall speak peace
Buzz.
unto nation? Is Paul.
BBC.
Correct. How many strings does a balalaika have?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Paul.
3.
Is correct. Who did Edward Heath succeed as leader of the Michael McP?
What's his name? Macmillan.
Incorrect. Paul.
Alec Douglas Home.
Correct. Which flag is flown when a ship is about to sail?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Is Michael.
Blue Peter.
Correct. How many hours are there in a fortnight?
Buzz.
Paul. Cancel. That's Steve Banhaman.
148.
Incorrect. Paul.
356.
Incorrect. Dave Bill
336.
is correct. And we will pause at that point. There are 7 minutes 44 left to play. And at the moment, Paul is in the lead with 20. Steve Kidd has 9. And then we have 6 for Dave Bill. Oh, thank you. 6 for Dave Bill, 4 for Oliver, 4 for Steve B, 2 for Ashton, 2 for Lee, 2 for Michael. And in the danger zone at the moment are Ailsa, Brendan, Dave Hulley and Steve Lacey. Okay. Fingers on the buzzers. We are ready to resume now. Who composed the music for A Chorus Line?
Buzz.
Oliver.
Marvin Hamlish.
Correct. What was Richard Burton's last film? David Hulley. Too slow. Michael McP.
1984.
Correct. Who wrote the play Look Back in Anger?
Buzz.
Is Brendan.
John Osborne.
Correct. Which English architect is chiefly remembered for his work on rebuilding the Royal Pavilion in Dave Bill?
Buzz.
Inigo Jones.
Incorrect. Lose half your points. Paul.
Nash.
Is correct. What is the county town of Suffolk? Ailsa.
Buzz.
Ipswich.
Is correct. What is the more common name for casein disease or decompression sickness? Paul.
The Bends.
Is correct. According to Forbes magazine, in the year to June 2020, which tennis player was the highest earning woman? Brendan.
Buzz.
Naomi Osaka.
Correct. In which English county are the Clee Hills? Lee.
Shropshire.
Correct. How many millimetres are there in a kilometre? Steve B.
1 million.
Is correct. Who was the first West Indian cricketer to be knighted?
Us.
Buzz.
Is Dave Bill.
Leary Constantine.
Is correct. Who's the only American president to be sworn in by a woman? Ashton.
Buzz.
No, mine was before, just after he's done the next question. Sorry.
Ashton was first.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, Steve B.
Obama.
Sorry?
Obama.
Incorrect. Michael McP.
Trump.
Sorry?
Trump.
No. Ailsa.
Bill Clinton.
No. Oliver.
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Is correct. Which football club did Sven-Goran Eriksson leave to manage England? Oliver.
Lazio.
Is correct. Which seaside resort in Norfolk is famous for its crabs?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Dave Bill.
Cromer.
Correct. What was the surname of black militant leader Malcolm X?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Is Paul.
Little.
Is correct. Of what is paleography the study?
Buzz.
Is Ailsa.
Fossils.
Incorrect. Lose half your points. Oliver.
Question's over, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is over. Yeah, cancel that. Oliver.
Of ancient animals, sort of dinosaurs, things like that.
Incorrect. Lee.
Ancient sort of writings.
Ancient writings is the correct answer.
Oh,
What does a viticulturist grow?
Buzz.
Ailsa.
Grapes.
Is correct. According to the Bible, who was the first king of Israel?
Us.
Brendan.
Buzz.
Paul.
Correct. Who plays Mysterio in the 2019 film? Steve B.
Gyllenhaal.
Correct. Who was the first vice president of the USA?
Us.
Is Paul.
John Adams.
Correct. Which was the first Bollywood musical to play in the West End?
Buzz.
Ailsa.
Bombay Dreams.
Is correct. Which English composer had a Sanskrit period from 19... Steve B.
Vaughan Williams.
Is incorrect. Lose half your points. Sanskrit period from 1908 to 1912. Ashton.
Walton.
Incorrect. Brendan.
Britain.
Incorrect. Michael.
Elgar.
Incorrect. Lee.
Ulst.
Is correct. Of which Australian state is Sydney the capital?
Us.
Buzz.
Is Paul.
New South Wales.
Is correct. Who wrote the oratorio Elijah in 1840?
Us.
Lee.
Oh, no, sorry, I've forgotten.
Lose half your points. Paul.
Mendelssohn.
Is correct. In which year did Edward the Confessor die?
Buzz.
Is Michael McP.
66.
Is correct. Which German physicist originated the quantum theory of radiation?
Buzz.
Lee.
Max Planck.
Is correct. Which famous bell was named after Sir Benjamin Hall?
Buzz.
Oliver.
Big Ben, allegedly.
Is correct. Who was the first Prime Minister of Jamaica?
Buzz.
Is Steve B.
Manly.
Is correct. In which sea are the Cyclades? Is Ailsa.
Aegean.
Is correct. Which comedian took a TV journey to meet as many namesakes as possible?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Is Dave Bill.
Dave Gorman.
Is correct. What name is given to the distance from the centre of a circle to the circumference?
Buzz.
Brendan.
Radius.
Correct. Which country has the oldest national flag?
Buzz.
Dave
Buzz.
Bill.
Denmark.
Correct. What is the art of the drawing of
Buzz.
maps?
Buzz.
Dave Bill.
Cartography.
Is correct. Who was the last Argentinian player to play in the men's singles final at Wimbledon?
Us.
Paul.
Buzz.
David Nalbandian.
Is correct. Who wrote The Mill on the Floss?
Us.
Buzz.
Ailsa.
George Eliot.
Correct. On an ordnance survey map, what animal is the symbol for a
Buzz.
zoo? David Hulley.
Elephants.
Is correct. And with just over 2 minutes to go, we can have an update on the score. So top of the shop is Paul with 32, Dave Bill 13, Oliver on 12, Ailsa on 10, Steve Kidd on 9, Brendan on 8, Steve Banhaman on 6, Lee on 6, Michael on 6, Ashton on 2, Dave Hulley on 2, Steve Lacey on 0. So Ashton, Dave and Steve are in the danger zone. And then there's a tie for the final place between Steve, Lee and Michael. We're ready. Fingers on the buzzers. Time starts again now. Which patriotic song comes from Alfred, a Mask?
Buzz.
Is Oliver.
Rule Britannia.
Is correct. What colour is obtained by dyeing material in dandelion? Is Michael.
Yellow.
No, incorrect. David Hulley.
Green.
No. Lee.
Red.
No. Ashton.
Blue.
Steve Kidd.
Blue.
Ailsa.
Purple.
Steve Lacey.
Orange.
Brendan.
Black.
Paul.
Oh, I was going to say orange. Pink.
No. Steve B.
White.
No, it's magenta.
Oh.
What is the colour of the cross on a Finnish flag?
Buzz.
McP.
Blue.
Correct. Which Spanish city is believed to have got its name from the Spanish word for pomegranate?
Buzz.
Is Ailsa.
Banana.
Correct. Which Norwegian ice skater was Olympic champion in 1928? Steve
Buzz.
B.
Heaney.
Is correct. Into which sea does the Danube River flow?
Buzz.
Lee.
Buzz.
Black Sea.
Is correct. What cargo did the Cutty Sark carry?
Buzz.
Steve Kidd.
T.
Correct. Now 40 years old, who is the child star of the film Home Alone?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Brendan.
Corley Culkin.
Is correct. Which boxer was Olympic middleweight champion in 1952 and first to hold? Steve B.
Muhammad Ali.
Is incorrect.
Good game, guys.
And was the first to hold the heavyweight title twice.
Buzz.
Dave Bill. Oh, sorry, Paul.
Floyd Patterson.
Is correct. And with 5 seconds left on the clock, we have Paul safe on 34, Oliver safe on 14, Dave Bill safe on 13, Ailsa State safe on 12, Steve Kidd safe on 11, Brendan safe on 10. We've then got Lee and Michael tied on 8, Steve B, Ashton, Dave Hulley and Steve Lacey all in the danger zone. We have time for, if we're quick, 2 questions. So, fingers on buzzers. In the Australian song, what did the Jolly Swagman camp by? Steve B.
They Billabong.
Correct. How many letters are there in the modern Welsh alphabet? Lee.
24.
Incorrect. Oliver.
20. No, just 20.
No. Steve B.
18.
No. Steve Lacey.
28.
No. Steve Kidd.
29.
29 is correct.
Oh!
Over.
Chris Curtis,
Yes.
talk to us about danger zones, the end of that round, and the psychology, the emotion which goes through.
It's very difficult because you don't know whether to stay and risk it or go and risk it, or because you can lose by somebody coming up and getting 2 correct answers very quickly, and sneaking up and grabbing the place that you thought was safe.
In fairness, I mean, what we've said about how to play this round and get to a certain score and then step away from your buzzer has sort of gone out the window. Because, I mean, certain people have just decided to go for everything. And I'm not criticising. I'm just saying things have changed.
Things have changed. That's it. It's a change for the better or for the worse. I don't think
It's certainly more exciting.
Basically, back in the day, Chris, you were there back in the day. You saw Pat and Kevin and yourself, and the luminaries gathered there, Diane Halligan, and we have never in Q12 had a game like that just now.
Can I just say Number one, I was carrying on to make sure that to do my best to make sure that Ollie was safe, and secondly, to try and get rid of Banhaman and McPartland. To try and my best.
Oh no, absolutely.
Well, I did that for you. I'm such an idiot. Like, this is actually going to be filmed. Is that true?
Yeah.
Like, you have me on film saying the Painted Desert is in New Mexico and being that much of a moron at the end. So, I guess if there was a buzz about me, you can now just submit that and there won't be anymore, which is good. So, because I didn't want there to be one anyway.
Could I please anyway? Could I tail this third, the first third of this Q12, the final of 2020, with a little round of applause for the people who are out and the people who have got through. That is the most intense first round of Q12, and I've been to every one that I've ever had to enjoy and endure at the same time. So thank you. The guys who are out, unlucky, you're brilliant.
Well played, everyone. Good luck.
Good game.
Well done.
Chris Curtis is in charge. Tell us all about round two, please, Chris.
So after a breathtaking round one, we have lost the 4 bottom players from the scoreboard, leaving us with the 8 players still remaining for round two. At the end of round two, again, the bottom 4 on the scoreboard will drop off, leaving just 4 to go through for the final. Round two consists of 12 questions. Each question is made up of 6 parts. The first being worth 6 points if it's answered correctly on the first, going down to 1 for the 6th part. However, should somebody aim to answer the question and then answer it incorrectly, they lose the equivalent amount of points. So if it's on the first clue, they would lose 6 points. These questions are live throughout, so any incorrect answer will result in a negative score.
Good luck, everybody.
So good luck to all the players. Question 1. For 6 points, this athlete won the 2006 European cross-country title. For 5 points, on the 14th of August 2020, Jakob Ingebrigtsen broke his European 1500 metres record.
Buzz.
Paul.
Buzz. Mo Farah.
He is correct for 5 points. Question 2. For 6 points. You okay, Ailsa?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see, my screen wasn't scrolling. I couldn't see the lines. So.
Okay. Question 2. For 6 points, this cartoonist and graphic novelist was a 2014 recipient of the MacArthur Genius Award. For 5 points, originally best known for the long-running comic strip Dykes to Watch Out For.
Buzz.
Paul Sinha.
Alison Bechdel.
Is correct.
Damn you, Sinha.
That's another 5 points to Paul. Question 3. For 6 points, this is the 7th studio album by this band and was released by the, so I'm after the album, not the band, the 7th studio album, and released on the 25th of July, 1980. For 5 points, American death metal group 6 Feet Under recorded a cover of the entire album under the title Graveyard Classics 2. Question 4. For 4 points, it is the 4th best-selling album in the USA with 25 million certified sales. For 3 points, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution is the 10th. Is Michael McPhee.
Back in Black.
Back in Black is correct for 3 points. Question 4. For 6 points, the island's name in the native language was Taikagaka or Taithurayaka, which may mean one that is all ochre, referring to the island's predominant colour. For 5 points, the modern name for this island is derived from the name of a Genovese navigator, Lancelot Malacello. Steve Kidd.
Malta.
Is incorrect, -5. For 4 points, one of an archipelago It is the fourth largest by area with the third largest population. For 3 points is Paul.
Lanzarote.
Is correct for 4 points. I hadn't started on the 3 for 4 points, so Lanzarote is correct.
Paul, guess what the last 2 islands I've visited are?
Oh no.
Sheppey and Thanet.
Question 5 for 6 points. This actress became the first person to achieve the EGOT posthumously.
Oh, bollocks.
Steve Kidd. Gonna have to press you.
Barbara Streisand's not dead yet.
No, she's not. It's -6, unfortunately. When she won the Grammy in 1994. For 5 points, her Grammy was for the best spoken word album for children. Herself is Oliver.
Audrey Hepburn.
Is correct for 5 points.
Enchanted Tales.
Is correct. Enchanted Tales, yeah. Question 6. For 6 points, the development of a standard version of the German language was fostered by the work of this man. For 5 points, in 1501, at the age of 17, he entered the University of Erfurt, which he later described as a beer house and whorehouse. Is Steve Kidd. Steve?
Luther.
Yes, Martin Luther is correct for 5 points.
Sorry. I turned that off because I was swearing a bit.
So, at the halfway stage, Paul is on 14, Oliver is on 5, Michael is on 3, and everybody else is on 0, bar Steve, who's still on -6. Question 7. For 6 points, at room temperature, this compound is a colourless, odourless, non-flammable gas with a slightly sweet taste. For 5 points, it is the name of a character in the Crash Bandicoot series of video games. For 4 points, it is a psychoactive substance within the meaning of the 2016 Psychoactive Substances Act. For 3 points, Lee.
Nitrous oxide.
Is correct for 4 points.
Good answer.
Question 8. It was first, for 6 points, it was first exhibited in Cuxhaven, Germany in 1997, followed by Stavanger in Norway and De Pan in Belgium. For 5 points, the figures that make up the piece were cast at Hargreaves Foundry in Halifax, West Yorkshire, and the Joseph and Jessie Siddons Foundry in West Bromwich by foundryman Derek Alexander. For 4 points, this sculpture is modelled on the artist Lee.
Angel of the North.
Is incorrect. For -4, this sculpture is modelled on the artist's naked body. For 3 points, each figure is 189 centimetres tall. Dave Bill.
Another Place.
Is correct for 3
points. Normally, I knew what it was. I couldn't think of what it's fucking called.
Thank God I didn't interrupt. I was going to say the Olympic torch.
Should have hung on a bit.
Andy, I was about just writing on that.
Question 9 for 6 points. This post-apocalyptic French graphic novel was created by Jacques Lob and Jean-Marc Rochette and published in 1982. For 5 points, Proloff is quarantined after escaping and is joined by a woman named Adeline Bellow, herself part of a movement to integrate the less fortunate with the more fortunate. For 4 points.
Buzz. Can I take this for 4?
No, you can take it for 5 because I started.
Death of Stalin?
Is incorrect. For 4 points. The two are eventually called to meet Colonel Crimson, and as they travel to meet him, they observe fresh fruit, vegetables, and meat, luxuries which they believed extinct and denied to the area they have come from. For 3 points, a television series of the story was broadcast in 2020 on TNT in North America and Netflix around the globe and stars David Diggs. Is Dave Bill.
Snowpiercer.
Is correct.
Oh, yes, of course. That's why I've heard of it.
Question 10. For 6 points, this actor played Charlie Cruz in the US TV series Life. For 5 points, this actor played Yasin Grigorovich in the film Stormbreaker. Question is Ailsa.
Damian Lewis.
Damian Lewis is correct for 5.
Well done, Ailsa.
Well done, Ailsa.
So we now, with 2 questions to go, have Paul on 9, Dave on 6, Oliver Ailsa on 5, Michael on 3, Brendan and Lee on 0, and Steve Kidd on -6. There are 2 questions left to go. Question 11. For 6 points, this city has the highest number of startups per person among European countries and is a birthplace of many international high-tech companies, including Skype and TransferWise. Steve Kidd.
Basel.
Incorrect for -6.
I should go for something.
Oliver.
Tallinn.
Tallinn is correct for 6 points. And so we now have Oliver on 12, Paul on 9, Dave Bill on 6, and Ailsa on 5. Those are the 4 that are in the qualification places at the moment. Lee is on 3. Michael's on 3, Lee and Brendan on 0, and Steve unfortunately is out of the running. Question 12, final question. For 6 points, the COVID lockdown led to this man eyeing retirement and spending more time building up his cattle and farm. For 5 points, he's currently becalmed on 98 international appearances, although he has the 2 that he needs to reach 100 scheduled for when sport restarts. For 4 points, on the 24th of July 2017, he presented a panorama documentary about men and eating disorders. In it is Brendan.
Flintoff.
Is incorrect, -4. In it, he opened up about his own experiences with bulimia.
Oh.
For 3 points, on national television, he exited a wardrobe accompanied by the song I Am What I Am. For 2 points, he holds the record for the most European Cup matches and Test matches refereed. Lee.
Nigel Owens.
Nigel Owens is correct for 2. And so, at the end of round 2, we have going through Oliver on 11, Paul on 9, Dave on 6, Ailsa on 5. And just missing out 3 is Michael, 2 is Lee, -4 is Brendan, and -12 is Steve. Well played, everybody.
Well done.
Such a wailing and gnashing of teeth on that round every year. It never fails.
Mo Farah should have got in straight away.
Yeah,
I can't
mate,
believe that.
Should have gone.
Luther the same.
I was too scared to go on another place on the Thornley thing because.
This is a funny format, it really is.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
Funny ha-ha or funny peculiar, that's the thing.
Both.
It's wonderful.
My vanity couldn't stop me from this voice in my head saying, "Death of Stalin's based on a French graphic novel. Have a guess. Have a guess." Doesn't sound like Death of Stalin in any other way whatsoever.
Thing is, when you're saying, "Oh, I'll guess, but only for 4 points," like, no, it's for 5, Paul.
Anyway,
what I wanted to do was have him say a word, and then I was going to buzz in, and I forgot to let him have a say a word.
Let me put a tail on that. So, my goodness, I'm going to try to smile here, but I can vouch that this is the most intense kind of form of quiz that you can do in terms of the jubilation and the disappointment which you get through it, I think we've got 4 very, very worthy finalists on the Q12 2020. But we've got some pretty worthy people who haven't made the final as well. So well played, those of you through. I can't wait to be a spectator for the final. And let's get his act together and enjoy this so much. Thank you very much, guys. Well played.
Well done, everybody.
Welcome.
Ailsa, you're nothing but always perfect. It's the final of
I do
Q12.
still have rooms, Ollie, so I need to paint my walls a different colour.
That's Ailsa. She's from Scotland. It's the final of Q12 2020, and I'm not in it. Yes. Wow, what a team we have got. I'd like to do a pub quiz with you guys. I'm going to hand you over to Chris Curtis, who set the 2 first rounds of excellent questions. He's exceeded all hopes. Superlatives abound. The first round, 14 more questions, 17 than any round we've ever had before. The round 2, no prisoners. This is going to be, Brendan described it as Hagler and Hearns, except between 4 of them. Chris, it's all yours.
Okay. Round 3. The goal in round 3 is to score 12 points. You get 1 point for each correct answer. An incorrect interruption will cost you a life. Lose 3 lives and you're eliminated from the game. The questions follow a theme, so each one there will be a link between the question being asked and the previous question. The last answer given was Walker, able seaman of the Swallow. So question 1. Walmsley and Lyons were partners and joint owners of the Swallow Sidecar Company.
Buzz.
Is Oliver.
Jaguar.
Is correct. Question 2. Which American multinational technology company named version 10.2
Buzz.
Is Oliver again.
Apple.
Correct. One of several apple varieties that can be considered as a close substitute for Cox's Orange Pippin, it was developed in the 1960s by the famous East Mailing Research Station in Kent, with Cox being one of the parent varieties. Name this apple variety that shares its name with the title character in a 2015 space opera film written and directed by the Wachowskis.
Buzz.
Oliver.
Valerian.
Is incorrect. Ailsa.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know how I buzzed.
No, that's Jupiter, as Jupiter Jupiter ascending. 3-word title required. Based on Jupiter, the bringer of jollity from Holst's Planet Suite, what is the name of the title song for ITV's coverage of the Rugby World Cup? Is Ailsa.
World and Union.
Is correct. A frequent cause of conflict in UK industrial relations during the 1970s, what term is used for a workplace where every employee must be a member of a trade? Paul.
Closed shop.
Is correct. Linguistically, the opposite of a closed shop. Which BBC comedy series? Ailsa.
Open all hours.
Open all hours. Round is correct. Ran from 76 to 85, featuring such reoccurring characters as Mrs. Blewett and Nurse Gladys Emanuel. Which year saw the most famous creation of David and Elizabeth Emanuel?
Buzz.
Paul.
1981.
Is correct. In the 1981 Ashes Test at Headingley, which English bowler took 8 for Dave?
Bob Willis.
Is correct.
Hope he was going more obscure than that.
In 2003, he stood for election as governor of California, although this actor is probably better known for his catchphrase, "What you talking
Buzz.
about?"
Buzz.
Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman is correct.
Bit quicker.
Yeah,
Jeff
sorry.
Marks and Robert Lopez have said one of the central themes of this musical
Buzz.
Paul.
Avenue Q.
Is correct. Specific term required. A hypothetical document called Q provides the basis for which 3 other documents? the first 3 books of the New Testament? Ailsa.
Synoptic Gospels.
Synoptic Gospels is correct. The Vera C. Rubin Observatory, previously referred to as the Large Synoptic Survey Telescope, is an astronomical observatory currently under construction in which country? Ailsa.
Chile.
Is correct.
Oh, nice.
What name is given to the body of water between South America's Cape Horn, Chile, and the South Shetland Islands of Antarctica? Ailsa.
Oh, sorry, I thought you finished.
It's the Drake Passage.
It is Drake's Passage.
Didn't want to risk it.
I thought you'd finished.
I thought the question was finished, and then I panicked, sorry.
In the film Blade Trinity, which fictional character appears assuming the name of Drake? Dave.
Dracula.
Is correct.
Very good.
The genus Dracula, abbreviated as Drac in the horticultural trade, is a member of which family of plants? It consists of 118 species native to Mexico, Central America, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. Question over. Dave.
Cactus.
No. Ailsa.
Is exactly what I was going to say. I don't have anything else.
Paul.
Tobacco.
No. Oliver.
Poinsettia.
No, they're orchids. Which part of the body would be removed during an orchidectomy? Dave Bill.
Testicle.
Correct. What name is given to a North American dish made of bull's test? Paul.
Rocky Mountain oysters.
Is correct. Rocky Mountain High is a folk song written by John Denver and Mike Taylor and is one of the 2 official state songs of which US state? Is Dave Bill.
Colorado.
Is correct. With the adoption of their 64th state amendment in 2013, Colorado became the first state in the union to legalize the medicinal industrial. Is Oliver.
Marijuana.
Is correct. Which British athlete received a public warning after a positive drugs test to cannabis in 2003, but then went on to win a gold medal in the 2004 Olympics, running the anchor leg? Paul.
Mark Lewis Francis.
Is correct. Which company was advertised by the phrase, "I'm convinced it's a major contribution to road safety," stated by
Buzz.
Is Paul.
Goodyear.
Yeah, it was the Goodyear Grand Prix S. Julie Goodyear appeared on... Dave.
Bet Lynch.
No, it's lose one. Julie Goodyear appeared on Celebrity Stars in Their Eyes, appearing as Who singing Falling in Love Again from the film The Blue Angels. Is Oliver.
Marlene Dietrich.
Is correct. You talk like Marlene Dietrich and you dance like Julie Sommer. Dave.
It's Where Do You Go to My Lovely?
It is Where Do You Go to My Lovely? Correct. Ventura's Wildlife Botanical Gardens in Ware, Hertfordshire, has some unusual species in its collection, including which cat-like carnivorous mammal, the largest carnivore in Madagascar? Paul.
Fossa.
Is correct. Madagascar is the world's principal supplier of which product? Is Oliver.
Vanilla.
Is correct. Who appeared in both the Alejandro Amenabar's 97 Spanish film Open Your Eyes? Paul.
Penelope Cruz.
Is correct. In which vehicle in Wacky Races would you find Penelope Pitstop? Ailsa.
The Compact Pussycat.
Is correct. Which US state is the title of the only UK #1 hit? Ailsa.
Mississippi.
Is correct. Full name required. After playing college football at the University of Mississippi, he was selected as the first overall pick in the 2004 NFL draft by the San Diego Chargers and traded to the Giants during the draft. He is Paul.
Eli Manning.
Is correct.
Oh, very good.
Which Old Testament priest and leader worked under Eli in the service of the shrine at Shiloh? Books 9 and 10 of the Old Testament are named after him. Is Paul.
Samuel.
Is correct. Paul now only one away from victory. Ailsa on 7, Oliver 5, Dave on 5. Samuel Johnson, author of the dictionary, was born in which cathedral? Dave Bill.
Lichfield.
Is correct. The theatre in Lichfield is named after which actor? A contemporary is Paul.
David Garrick.
David Garrick is correct for the win.
Well done, Mr. Sinha.
Many congratulations.
Great game, guys.
Tremendous.
Well, Paul.
Good play.
Very well played.
Wow. Can I start?
Yeah.
I'm speechless. Next.
Can I start?
Yes.
I think anyone that knows me well knows that I don't give a shit about status and TV and celebrity and all of this. I just love quizzing with brilliant people, and this has been an amazing year, and I'm unbelievably proud to be in such fantastic opposition. You've been all superb, and it's been just a pleasure. It's just been a pleasure to compete with you and against you.
Tremendous performance.
Absolutely brilliant.
Right.
No one really stood a chance.
Just please,
well done as well.
Pleased to be in the final. Pleased
Great
to be in the
QM quiz. Chris, well done, Chris. Yeah, great set of questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic questions, Chris. Great.
Yeah.
And it's such good entertainment.
Just
had
really...
some Bible and some American football that I really would have liked to have gotten.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Okay. I'm not religious, but I studied it before. So.
They were for you, Brendan, to keep your title, weren't they?
No, that's right. Am I speaking for myself here or for other people, like just what Steve said there? When people say, oh, I've got that, I kind of tend to roll my eyes a bit, but all the way through, I'm thinking, through that final, I'm thinking, oh, God, I wish I was there. And then I'm thinking, oh, my God, I'm glad I'm not there. Because,
oh, yeah.
And Dave, where's Dave Bill?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I accept your criticism on Gary Coleman, and hopefully the margin of victory. I was a bit slow on Gary Coleman, and I accept that.
No. Just keeping you on your toes, pal.
Paul, you've got to sing, I'm Gary Coleman from TV Different Strokes. I made a lot of money, which got stolen by my folks.
Could have been worse. Could have been Dana Plato.
As Jacob said, guys, it's like watching Messi play football. Really enjoyed that.
Ashton, would you run that final, mate?
Oh, of course, Steve. Yeah, I've got one.
Well,
I wouldn't have been losing my 1 point this year, that's for sure.
Okay, Paul.
I think what I've done, I've not started early enough. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. You didn't quite get to that 4-point speech.
Paul, could you do me a favour while you're on screen here? Could you practice your smug look while I say, and do you know Paul wasn't even favourite on the bookmakers list?
That's just the bookmakers being dickheads, yeah.
I'll be
frozen. Oh no, here he goes.
Lulu had me on each way.
I'll be perfectly honest. Looking at I don't know how I'd have shaped the betting because Ollie blitzed the first round and then disappeared from the rest of the competition. So how do you judge? How he's going to do?
I think my adage is on it. You should really start at 5-1 for everybody, and then work it around there. Because
I think your miscalculation on the betting is that simply that I'm a bit of a Chris Curtis specialist, because we got very similar sports.
Yeah, true.
Very similar sports tastes in common.
We couldn't help but read the subtext of your visit to Chris's house the other day.
Chris will confirm that whenever the subject got too close to questions writing, I told him not to. I stopped the conversation.
Absolutely did. Yeah.
Talking about the betting, I worked out the over round for the the amount over 100% that was in the bookie's favour.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot.
Would you like to look? Would you like to know?
I think Andy Curtis has worked out as well.
It was 93.4%. 193.4% over round.
Well, he said he was starting at 5-1 each and working from there. I mean, that's a massive overround.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about doubles. That sounds about right.
Well,
12 runners, you start at 3-1 each and hope for best, don't you?
Well, we discussed it yesterday after yesterday's. I forgot what quiz we were doing yesterday. It's all a blur. But
Steve, move your mic.
We were discussing it yesterday. We kind of were all feeling the same way about the order, but the odds. I mean, it's just tough to. It's so counterintuitive to put somebody like Paul and Ollie on something at 3.5 to 1. But nevertheless, that's kind of probably realistic if they're both in the mix together. You know,
the bottom line.
It's superb. Anyway.
What Ollie won't tell you is he got a private message from me about 24 minutes ago saying, "Stop buzzing, you twat, or there's no dinner on the table this evening."
That's why you wanted to make sure he made it through to the final.
You've got it right, Steve. You've got it right.
To be fair, four of your top 5 made the final, so you.
That was it. Yeah, exactly.
Apart from McPhee, then.
Well, that makes a change.
Yeah.
Because usually, but it just off this topic a bit, I wander around thinking, well, shall I do this again? Never again. And then something like this happens, and you sit back and you watch the final, and you think, it doesn't matter if it causes me anything. It's got to be done, and so roll on. Bloody 2021. It's almost like
nobody had to be in Pontefract to do it except you.
That's the great triumph, isn't it? That's the greatest thing of it all. Thank you, lockdown.
Thank you, lockdown. Oh, Ollie, you're making me jealous now.
Steve, in all seriousness as well, can I just say that the product is really good.
It is.
And
it's
the management side.
As much as we bitch about it, particularly the second round is such an amazing leveler.
I mean, you look at the folk. You look at the folk. I mean, you've got some serious quiz talent here. Look at the folk who's actually bought into this.
Yeah.
And it says everything about the product. It's just so good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you convinced me to play that time, Steve. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Can I throw something in the mix before we come back at 6 o'clock, because I've got 50 nice questions for you. I can't help wandering around and thinking the initial intent of Q12 when I first did it was to get 12 heats with 12 different people.
Yeah.
And now we can do this. We could do that anyway. We could seed it, so you get a top seed in every heat, but make it a lot more of a valuable product in that it's much, much harder to make that. I don't know. It's just I'm just thinking about how to go with it next year, but this has been, it's worked. It's worked online. It really has.
I would just leave it alone, Steve. It works brilliantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but persuade some more people to join, and everybody apart from Mark Lebet.
Lebet will play. You know he will. He's enjoyed the 6 o'clock stuff. He told me.
Yeah, no, it's I'm trying to think of a genuine criticism of the way you've played, what Chris has done today, the help. Chris Bean, I can't stress enough, just the relief of me being able to concentrate. You noticed it in the first portion of Chris's quiz. I could actually press without worrying about anything, and I so enjoyed it. It was like
you took that into round 2, which is where you made your big mistakes.
There's Paul having done all of the research in round 2.
Paul, if you've watched the videos, that's nowhere near his big mistake, pal.
Oh no, absolutely
not. Paul Sinha, I'm quite aware of the difference of level, over 100 questions between me and the rest of you guys, and there is a definite strategy in there that I've got to take risks on that.
No. You're not going to get any genuine criticism from me after my middle round performance in the
Because
first week.
Oh, the first time you did. I mean, that's probably the reason you weren't favourite today, because it was all depending on which Paul Sinha showed up.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
But the key is to get an early lead, isn't it? That's the absolute key.
Yeah.
If you don't get an early lead, you're in agony. And even with the early lead, I nearly pressed for some reason, Olympic torch for another place.
Oh, the Crosby one, yeah.
Because I just thought he's gone from Germany to Belgium. This is a travelling thing, and also Heatherwick sounded such a he's northern, isn't he? He's not Midlands. But you were named
Thomas Heatherwick. Yeah.
Thomas Heatherwick.
Anyway,
So-
if these people are talking, I'm going to go fade out. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo.
But yeah, I just
Everywhere, say bye.
See you next year. Bye.